So today we're going to look at ratios as far as part to part and part to total ratios and their comparisons. So ratios show how two or more quantities are compared. Now, those ratios can be written in three different formats as far as the comparison. So the first one is going to be 2 eggs to 3 cups, and that is word form. And then you have 2 eggs, semicolon, to 3 cups, and that would be symbol form. And the third format, word symbol, and you got 2 eggs over 3 cups, and this would be fraction form. There's also within the comparison, ratios can be represented in part to part comparisons. And then they also have part to total or part to whole relationships. So with the first part, with the given ratio part to part, we have 1 pink to 3 blue, and symbol, we just write that as 1 to 3. But then most commonly as a fraction, we're going to write that as 1 pink over 3 blue. A part to total would be 1 to 4, where you would add these two colors up for the total number of colors. So, for example, then part to total, we have 1 pink to 5 sweaters. So, 1 pink, colon, 5 sweaters. And fraction form, 1 pink over 5 sweaters. So not only are we learning the ratios, we're just also learning how to write them in the three different forms. So now let's practice a little bit. With the given information, we're going to call this the given information up above. We have 4 cups of pretzels, 2 cups of bagel chips, 1 cup of cheese crackers, and 1 cup of peanuts. So we look down below, we have bagel chips to peanuts. So this comparison, as far as left to right, is also how we're going to write it in the ratio form. So it says bagels. So we have 2, 2, 2, and then peanuts is 1. So we write that as 2 to 1. In symbol form, 2 to 1. And then in fraction form, we'd write it as 2 over 1. But we probably also want to do our labels, bagels over peanuts. So it says total cups to pretzels. So we go back up above. We need to find the total cups. Well, in order to find the total, we're going to have to add up how many different ingredients are in this pretzel mix or total mix. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in the ratio, we have 8 total cups. So it says total cups to pretzels. So we're going to write it as it is written. So the word form is going to be 8, 2, and then pretzels we have 4, 8 to 4, then symbol form, 8 to 4, and then in fraction form we have 8 over 4, and 8 is the total, and 4 is the pretzel. Now the next example says cheese crackers to peanuts. Now, cheese crackers and peanuts are both parts. It's a part-to-part comparison. So cheese crackers is 1, peanuts is 1. So this is actually a 1-to-1 comparison. 1 to 1, 1 to 1, or 1 over 1. And pretzels to total cups. So it looks like we did total cups to pretzels, and pretzels to total cups would just be the other way around. So we have 4 to 8, 4 colon 8, and then 4 over 8, and that was pretzels to total. So now we're getting into the practice here. So let's write the ratio of dogs to cats. So dogs, we have 1 dog and 1 dog, 5 cats. So we can actually fill in the numbers here. So the ratio is 1 to 5. Symbol is 1 to 5. And fraction form, 1 dog to 5 cats. And we want to keep them in the same position as far as the information where it's given. So now we're going to take these given ratios and we're going to start writing equivalent ratios. So if we had 1 dog and 5 cats, well, what if we had 5 dogs? So 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25 cats. Well, what if we had 1 dog and then we compare that to 10 dogs? 10 dogs, so we use the same factor. 1 times 10 is 10. 5 times 10 is 50 cats. Then using the same comparison down below, but instead of going to larger ratios, we're going to go to smaller ratios. So let's say we had 10 dogs and 50 cats. If we divide by 5, we're going to have 2 dogs, and 50 divided by 5 would be 10. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 50 divided by 5 is 10. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we can write equivalent ratios by multiplying, but then we can also write equivalent ratios by dividing. So if there's 15 cats in the apartment, 15 cats, how many dogs are there? Well, the ratio is 1 to 5. So if we divide 15 cats by 5 cats, 1 to 5, that factor of 5 will tell us how many dogs there are. 15 divided by 5 will give us 3 dogs. So the ratio would be 1 to 5, 2 to 10, or 3 to 15. So how many cats are there if there are 5 dogs in the apartment complex? So if it's dogs, now we're multiplying by 5. If there's 5 dogs and we're using that same factor multiplying by 5, then there's going to be 25 cats in the apartment. Now the given ratio says eggs to flour needed. So up above we have eggs. We have 6 eggs. We have 6 eggs and 9 cups of flour. So in symbol form, 6 to 9, and then also in fraction form would be 6 over 9. So the equivalent recipe down below, write 2 more ratios that are equivalent to the eggs and flour recipe. Well, if we make 5 times the batch, 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 5 would be 15. And then 2 times 10 would be 20. And 3 times 10 would be 30. So we have to read carefully here. We have pink to total sweaters. There's 1 pink, and then there's 5 total sweaters. I had to change the first part there. So the word is 1 to 5, the symbol is 1 to 5, and then in fraction form would be 5 pink to, or 1 pink to 5 total. And you could just do P and T. Now, using that ratio down below, we can write an equivalent ratio by multiplying by 5, and then also multiplying by 10. So 1 pink, 5 sweaters, 5 pink, 25 sweaters, 10 pink, 50 sweaters. We just use those equivalent ratios to help us write another ratio that's part to part but is also equivalent.